Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another product review video. I think we all already know these are my absolute favorite videos to film, and in today's video, thank you also for all the requests that you guys have been leaving me to review these products, but we're going to be reviewing the brand new Fenty Beauty concealers and setting powders. So Rihanna and Fenty Beauty did just drop these literally only days ago. Concealers come in 50 shades. Yeah, you heard that, yes. From everything that I've read online about the products and sort of like the information that I've got here, they sound like actually insane. Meant to be really, really nice coverage, meant to be really lightweight on the skin, crease proof, sweat proof, last all day, like pretty much everything that I need in a concealer. And then the setting powders as well. I think these come in 8 different shades. The setting powders do come in 8 different shades. So basically what we're going to be doing is applying both the concealers and the new setting powders to my face. Now, if you are new here, I do have an oily skin type. I've got quite textured skin. I certainly do not have, like really nice, amazing skin. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they go. And I am definitely prone to concealers creasing underneath my eye. So yeah, we're going to test it out and see if it is actually crease proof. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys the application, live here on camera, and then I'm going to be doing a wear test. Now, to be honest, it's going to be a long day. Probably I'm going to have my makeup on for well over 12 hours today. So yeah, I'm going to do check-ins and I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts later on tonight. We're going to see what it's looking like. We're going to see if it's held up with my oil, if it's creased, if it's done anything like disgusting. We're going to find out. So yes, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and seeing a full review on the brand new Fenty Beauty concealers and powders, then please keep on watching. All right, first up, we're just going to quickly go through the products. There are a couple of brush launches as well here. Yeah, we're going to go through everything. So first up, the concealer. So this is the new Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. It's, their foundation that they released last year. Was it last year or the year before? Was their Pro Filter foundation. So this is obviously like the concealer that sort of matches in with that foundation. Now, if you don't know the original foundation, this is what it looks like. Packaging is very much the same. Like, it's exactly the same. It's just like a little mini version. Now, in the concealer, you do get 8 ml of product. And if you are interested in seeing my review and hearing my thoughts on the Pro Filter foundation, I did do a full in-depth review video. I will link it down below for you, or maybe on the screen here somewhere. I really, like, as a spoiler, I really, really, really enjoyed the foundation. It's geared more towards oily skin types, and it is heaven on my skin. Absolutely love this. They have also launched another 10 shades, so they've extended the shade range in this foundation as well, so there's 50 of these available also. So yes, that is what the packaging of the concealer looks like. I'm just gonna have a look inside. Okay, so it's got a nice little flat doe foot applicator. Looks really nice. You can smell it. It does, it's not fragrance, but it smells like a concealer. And this one retails in US dollars $26 and in Australia 38 Australian dollars. So that's the deal on that. Now the powder, love the packaging. Firstly, it matches like her other packaging. It's really pretty. It does definitely get like finger marks all over it though. So this is called the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Like I said, it does come in 8 shades. I've got 2 shades here. I've got Cashew, which is definitely way too deep for me, and Banana, which looks like a brightening shade. Now, this does not come in a straight translucent. I would have thought, I'm personally very, you guys know me very well. I'm very much a translucent, loose setting powder kind of girl. So, because generally, as a general rule, tinted and colored powders, they do look quite cakey on my skin, especially once my oils come through and with my pores and everything. So, yeah, curious to see how these go. But it says, superfine, weightless setting powder, light as air, it won't cake or settle, and it's supposed to leave the skin shine-free and natural looking even in flash photography. So basically, these two together are meant to be like instant retouching for the skin, so kind of like Photoshop products to just make you look perfect in real life, which I am never mad about, never. Now, I do also have the Fenty Beauty sponges here to try, and also she's launched 2 new brushes with these products. So there's like a powder brush, number 170 setting. Ooh, it's a synthetic brush. It's actually very, very, very pretty. And then this is like the concealer brush. Oh my gosh, I'm getting like my hands all tied up. What is going on today? So yeah, 2 new brushes. So setting powder and concealer. They are actually like, they feel a lot softer than they look. You guys know I'm not a massive fan of synthetic brushes though. I just find that they don't work anywhere near as well, but I'm going to test these out. And then I do also have both of her foundation sponges. So 105 Lil Precision Makeup Sponge Duo and number 100 Precision Makeup Sponge. I've never tried these either. They look kind of textured. Oh, they feel pretty soft. I'm going to give these a go as well because why not? So yes, pretty much we're going to jump into the application of these products. Now to keep everything sort of like kind of seamless-ish, I am already wearing the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation today. Like I said, I really enjoyed this foundation. So, you know, obviously being that the concealer is the Pro Filter concealer, I want to see how the two of these work together. From what I can tell, these concealers come in the same shades as the foundation. So you can either, you know, choose to match your shade of foundation with your concealer, or you can go a couple of shades lighter to get that really nice brightening effect. I'm going to scoot you guys in a little bit closer so you can see exactly how this applies. Now, when I did put the foundation on, I did only do sort of like a very light layer because I really wanted to see, you know, the covering power of this concealer. You can see, you know, I've still got sort of dark under eye circles, and I do have some patches of some acne spots. Yeah, we're going to see how this goes. Now, as far as directions for applying this, it does say start with a very thin layer and build as needed. A little goes a long way. And it does also say let the concealer dry completely before setting it with the Pro Filter powder. I'm not too sure why that is. Apply directly under the eyes or over blemishes and blend with a brush or a sponge. So pretty straightforward. So I'm taking shade 230 and I'm going to pop that under my eyes. Now, from the swatches on the back of my hand, it did seem really, yeah, it's really creamy, this concealer. You barely have to touch the skin and you get a whole lot of payoff. Like, that is absolutely insane. I'm going to try with their concealer brush underneath this eye first. Let's see how we go. I'm personally not the hugest fan of blending concealers with brushes. I just don't think that you get, you know, the same perfect result as you get with a sponge. Now you can see that those 5 little dots have given me really nice amount of coverage, and certainly that shade 230 is very brightening on my skin. This brush gets tricky. I think this will be more like a pinpoint concealer kind of a brush, because under the eyes, you can't really blend the edges. So I'm taking like the damp, I have dampened it. It feels really soft now, and I'm gonna blend with that. I am noticing when blending with this sponge, it has picked up a little of the concealer on the side of my nose there. It might have just been because I applied it with a sponge. I'm struggling today. That might have just been because I applied it with a brush first. So I'm gonna go back in with a little more concealer, just here where it's sort of kind of taken it off. I'm happy with this shade 230. It's perfect for me for underneath my eyes. So that is what that is looking like. It did blend out really nicely. I would call it more of a medium coverage. I don't feel like it's completely covered this sort of under eye darkness that I have here. So I'm gonna go and apply a little bit more. And just cover that up. It's certainly weightless on the skin, like it doesn't feel cakey or heavy. Normally with concealers you can really tell straight away with that kind of a thing, but these do feel really nice. Maybe it's the sponge. I feel like it keeps taking it off. Okay, so that is blended out really nicely, and you can see, gosh, my eyes are bloodshot, aren't they? I'm super tired, I'm sorry. You can see a big difference in my under eye area, you know, from this side looks quite dark and heavy compared to this side. So I'm just gonna quickly repeat the same thing on the other side now. It really is so creamy. Like it's not, like it's quite liquidy, but it's also not sheer when it goes on. I hope that makes sense. Like, it's a really nice formula to apply to the skin. Like, it feels good. I do prefer how it blends with a sponge, but I must say I'm not loving this sponge. I'm just going to switch to a beauty blender. The shape is just sort of making it hard to get on the inner corner of my eyes. Oh, and the coverage is better with the beauty blender actually as well. I've just noticed that. I couldn't get it to cover the side of my nose, but now it's covering my nose really well on the side there. Okay, so under the eyes are concealed. Let's try a bit of a deeper shade. Let's go maybe 240, just through the center of my face. I'm going to see how it covers, like the end of my nose is certainly looking a little red. Maybe some of these little blemish spots. Now it does say in the tips and application tips to try it with the brush for blemishes. So it said to stipple, so we're just going to stipple. Also did say areas of texture, which is interesting, and like this is an area of texture for me. It certainly built up that coverage, and that concealer shade definitely matches the foundation perfectly. I still don't no. I'm a sponge girl. I can't help it. Okay, so that's covered up that redness really well. Let's see how it goes on my nose. There's nothing more annoying than a concealer that doesn't cover the end of your nose. You know how sometimes you can feel like you're blending for days and it still goes red? It's the most annoying thing of life. So we'll see how this one goes. Yeah, it's covered it really, really well, especially with the Beauty Blender. I'm not sure I would have got the coverage that I wanted using the other sponge or with the brush, but certainly with the Beauty Blender, it's, you know, working beautifully. All right, so that is what the concealer is looking like. Very, very smooth under the eyes. I can't see it creasing or caking in these under eye lines that I've sort of got happening here. I do feel like that I do need to add a little bit more concealer like I did on this side, just to this little dark patch in here. It's definitely like a medium sort of a coverage. It's not a full coverage concealer, but I don't mind that. Like I really like full coverage, not full coverage, medium coverage, or even light coverage concealers for sort of day-to-day wear because they just feel so light on the skin. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some really lightweight full coverage concealers out there that I love, but this is nice for a medium coverage. Yeah, see, that's covered up that darkness there really well now. Cool. So here is my under eye area. I feel like it looks really nice and smooth. It feels smooth. It doesn't dry down to like a velvety matte finish. It's still kind of like tacky on the skin, but it does look really, really nice and smooth. I like it. It's definitely covered up everything on the end of my nose there, as you can see. It's done a really good job on those blemishes. I wouldn't say... Like, I feel like it doesn't look drying on the skin at all. I feel like my under eye areas do look really nice and hydrated. Like, so far, so good. Now, we're going to move on to the powder. So I'm going to move back out so I'm not, like, all up in your face. All right, so this here is the setting powder. So the Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Like I said, it comes in 8 shades. You do get 28 grams of product in this one. It's got, yeah, like, shiny metallic packaging. Now, this one is $32 US and I think 44. Yes, 44 Australian dollars. And I'm going to try the shade Banana. I do have Cashew, but it's unfortunately way too deep for me. So we're going to try Banana. Now, what are the instructions? Swirl the powder puff brush. Yep, got it. Over the powder. Tap off the excess dust over foundation on concealer to set. Oh, it says you can also use it on a sponge to do smaller areas. Cool. So I've just taken the sticky tape off and I'm going to get a little in the lid so I can use it as a work area. I've always done this. You get way too much powder in the top of here. It's much easier and much better to work from the lid. So I've got the powder brush as instructed. Ooh, it's quite yellow actually. Feels very, very lightweight. Yes, it's got that slippery, slidey kind of a feeling to it. Yeah, cool. So going in with it, I've got a lot of excess on this brush. Okay, with the brush, and I'm just going to start setting down the concealer and the powder. This brush is very, very soft. Certainly, you know, if you're a big fan of Fenty brushes and you need brushes, and you want Fenty brushes, it's a very, very, very soft brush. All right, so I'm just popping that all over the skin. It's definitely set down both the concealer and the foundation. I wouldn't say that it's sets it down to necessarily a full matte finish, but I can still feel a little bit of tackiness, but it's definitely set it down. And it's definitely taken away the shine, and I feel like it's also just helps the skin look a whole lot smoother on that side. Let's try it with a sponge the normal way I would apply a powder. So taking a little bit of it on the Beauty Blender. I'm going to push it underneath the eyes. Oh, it smells like It's got a really nice scent. It's like kind of like perfumed. Oh, I like the smell of this a lot. So it's working really nicely with the sponge. You just get such a better finish applying a powder with a sponge. Like, look how much more flawless this side looks underneath my eyes in comparison to this side. Big difference. Like, I always do my under eyes and T-zone with a sponge. It is life. It is life. All right. That's actually worked really, really nicely. I'm really happy with how that's looking on the skin. Now I'm going to finish the rest of the face. It's sort of added a very slight tint to the skin. Like I said, all of these powders are coloured. There is not a translucent option, and they do have a lavender. Yeah, there's like a lavender colour. It's meant to be like a brightening one. All right, cool. We are set. I quite like that. It feels really nice on the skin. It might be looking might look a little dry now, but I don't necessarily mind that. I'm such an oily skin type. You know, when I use my all-time Holy Grail Estee Lauder Double Wear, you know, quite often that does look quite dry for like the first 30 minutes. I do not care, because it's so perfect through the day. So let's zoom in again, and this is what my skin is looking like with the setting powder applied. I do feel like it's sort of looking, I don't know, a little janky here. And my cheek area, I don't know, it's just looking a little bit textured, but underneath my eyes, oh my God, I love that powder underneath the eyes. It's so smoothing. It's beautiful. My face feels like, it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a whole heap of makeup. It does feel really nice and lightweight and quite silky. And here we are, closer up of under the eye. And the other side, I think it looks good. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and then I'll quickly come back and show you what it's sort of all looking like all together. Then we're gonna start our wear tests. Ooh, actually, let's do a flash photo right now as well so we can see how that goes. Hopefully there's no flashback. We will see. All right, guys, so I've got the rest of my makeup on. Everything applied really, really well. I didn't have any issues with, you know, like bronzer and blush and highlighter over top of the powder or anything. Everything's in place. Everything looks really nice and smooth. I'm super happy with how it is looking at this stage. There was no flashback. So these are the photos that I took. Absolutely zero flashback with the powder, which is so good, and the concealer as well. But yes, zero flashback. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys probably in about 6 hours from now. We'll see how it's holding up. Oh, what is that? You are not invited. No. And then I'll see you guys later on tonight. Probably looking like a beast, but it's okay. It's fine. All right, so we are back with our 6 hour check-in, and I've got to say, my under eye areas look pretty damn good. I'll zoom you in. So this is what my eyes are looking like now. It definitely hasn't creased. So you can see right here, I have this fold in the skin. If I pull the skin taut, you can see that there's no product like settled or caked in there. Like it hasn't creased at all. Same results on this side of my face. The concealer is definitely doing what it promises to do. It still feels really lightweight. It doesn't look cakey or anything in those areas. As far as this concealer underneath the eye, so far so good. Now, I have worn this foundation multiple times. I'm not sure if it's the mixture of the foundation and the powder on my skin or what the go is, but I'm starting to get cakey around the chin. Doesn't normally happen with this foundation. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see a bit of caking here. There's a little here. There's some here, and there's certainly a fair bit sort of just there. I have worn this foundation multiple times, and it's never caked at all. Like, I absolutely love the formula of this foundation. So it potentially is the setting powder. Now, I did say earlier, it's pretty common with my skin for a colored powder to do this. I'll give it credit. It normally happens a lot sooner than this, like a lot earlier than this. It normally happens straight away, but I don't know. My skin just doesn't like it. There's something weird going on here too. So maybe I rubbed it off. I don't know. But yeah, the concealer and the powder underneath my eyes, I am living for. Absolutely living for. It's so beautiful and smooth under there. Really, really happy. As far as oil control goes, I am looking fairly oily through the T-zone, as you can see. So the powder certainly hasn't controlled shine or oil. I do believe actually that was one of its promises. Was it one of its promises? Yeah, leaving skin shine free. It doesn't keep you shine free. You can sort of see the oil sort of on the side of my nose here, through the forehead, and on the other side of my nose. Oh, there's like an eyelash there. Gross. But yeah, underneath the eyes, I am absolutely living for it. So yes, I'll continue with what I was already doing. Busy day today, very busy day. And I will see you guys later on tonight. So probably it's going to be another 6 hours, may even be 7 hours. So yes, I will see you all later on. All right, so back with my final check-in for the day. This has officially been on my skin for nearly 13 and a half hours now. I'm definitely, I mean, look, I'll zoom you in. Definitely got caking on the top of my lip, around my chin, around my mouth area, sort of in the lower portion of my cheeks here. A lot of oil through the T-zone. Hopefully the camera is picking it up, but like we got a lot of oil happening here. Yeah, so I've got to say probably for me and my oily skin type, this setting powder is not going to be a favorite. It looks beautiful. Like I absolutely love this when used underneath the eyes. It is so smooth and it definitely helps stop the creasing of the concealer. I mean, I need to test that concealer with different powders, but certainly that concealer plus this powder underneath the eyes was absolutely magical. But that powder all over the rest of my face, I just feel like it's caused the caking. Like I said, I've worn this foundation plenty of times before with zero issues. Yeah, caking, and it just hasn't helped control the shine at all. But under the eyes, it's gorgeous. Now, as far as the concealer goes, I am impressed. So 13 and a half hours of wear, and look, there is still zero creasing in those fine lines. There's no settling, there's no creasing. Like, that is actually amazing, especially when you bear in mind that I've had those oils come through, they've mixed with the product, they've gotten all in there and up in there, and like the concealer's still like, yeah, I got you. I got you. Like, that is absolutely amazing. It's definitely stayed put on my nose as well despite the oil, so it's really good to see that it's a super long lasting formula and it's not just going to transfer off, you know, when you're least expecting it. It's also stayed put on those breakouts. You know, I haven't noticed it fading or anything, which is really, really good to see. Like, under the eyes, you guys, this stuff is magic. Absolute magic. But yeah, this is what my skin is looking like close up anyway. So there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the brand new Fenty concealer and setting powder. The concealer is definitely like 10 out of 10. Totally approved. Very, very creamy, very easy to blend. It is a medium coverage concealer though, so please do bear that in mind. You're not going to get, you know, full on, super full coverage, you know, with just one application. It's definitely buildable though, and it does build really well without getting sort of heavy and cakey on the skin. I just think it's beautiful, and it's 100% crease proof, which is amazing to see. Absolutely amazing. So huge, 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 you know, thumbs up from me for this one. I love, love, love the concealer. Setting powder, really, it's probably going to depend on your skin type. Maybe if you are more of a normal combo sort of skin type, you might really enjoy this one. Probably it would be fair to say if you are a really dry skin type, it's going to be a no-go. Yeah, just based on how dry it was when I initially applied it, and also for really oily skin types, like this is sort of the situation. But like I said, for me with my skin, I already know that colored powders for me just really, they just, other than the Maybelline Fit Me, like that one's gorgeous, but that's got only a very light tint. It's a mineral-based powder. It's only got a very light tint. It's for the most part translucent. But yeah, other than that, colored powders in my skin, they just don't really get along at all. But this, honestly, love her. Just like I loved the foundation. Oh, we're a happy little family over here. So yeah, thumbs up from this one. Concealer is bomb. Alright guys, I hope that you found today's review video and wear test really helpful. Please, if you've got any more questions about these products, please pop them in the comment section down below. Also, if you've got any other concealers or foundations or, you know, whatever it is, products that you want to see reviewed and tested and, you know, worn on my oily skin for a full wear test for a full day, pop all of that down below. Any other questions about anything as well, down there. Please, if you did enjoy the video today, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you all in my next video, which will be going up in a couple of days. So yes, I will see you guys over on that one. I love you all so, so much, and I will talk to you soon.